Translating between different languages is more difficult than one might think, and often the intended meaning of an utterance is lost in translation. Or ПОТЕРЯННЫЕ В ПЕРЕВОДЕ, or запутался при переводе in Russian. In particular, consider the following examples, often referred to as ложный друг or false friends. Magazine in Russian means shop or store in English, while журнал is the word used for magazine. Smoking refers to a tuxedo or dinner jacket, whereas курить is a verb meaning to smoke. Meeting means rally, whereas встреча means meeting. Автостоп means hitchhiking, although it sounds to English speakers like it has something to do with a place for cars to stop. Stringi means thong, whereas stroka means string. Of course, stringi makes sense since a thong is very similar to a string bikini. By the way, the English word bikini translates to bikini in Russian. Scotch is a general term for adhesive tape, whereas Shotlansky refers to people from Scotland. It should be noted that lenta also means tape. Brat means brother in Russian, but brat refers to an annoying child in English. And lunatic means sleepwalker in Russian, whereas lunatic means crazy person in English. Sometimes confused translations muddy the waters, so to speak, when it comes to political discourse. Consider these examples. Пример первый. A few years ago, Putin used the word yarky in reference to Trump. American journalists interpreted this to mean that Putin was saying that Trump was bright, as in intelligent. But it's more likely that Putin was saying that Trump has a colorful personality. If saying that Trump was intelligent, it is likely that Putin would have used a word such as umny, razumny, or blestyashi instead of yarky. Premier Vatoroi. Several years ago, Hillary Clinton had what she called a reset button made, which she presented to Sergei Lavrov during a meeting she had with him. Unfortunately, whoever translated reset to Russian chose the word перегрузка, which means overload, instead of перезагрузка, which means reboot. Of course, Hillary Clinton was a national embarrassment to people in the USA, and so it is not surprising at all that she or a member of her staff would make such a mistake. Premier третий. President Trump teased Zelensky for wearing what some characterized as pajamas to a recent meeting at the White House. Zelensky replied that he would wear a costume when Ukraine had finally won the war with Russia, which of course is never going to happen. But be that as it may, the use of the word costume was probably confusing to the American audience. However, costume is the word which means business suit in Ukraine and Russia, while naryad would mean outfit or costume, as in naryad dla Halloweena, which means Halloween costume. And finally, what lesson would be complete without a little joke? Putin, Trump и Vance идут в ресторан, which means Putin, Trump, and Vance go to a restaurant. Официант спешит принять их заказ, which means the waiter rushes over to take their order. Я буду steak, говорит Putin, which means I'll have steak, says Putin. Официант спрашивает о овощи, which means the waiter asks, and for the vegetables? Because obviously you should always have vegetables along with your meat dish. Putin отвечает, они тоже будут steak, which means Putin replies, they'll have steak also. And what more needs to be said? Ruski ad over and out.
Ruski and your humble instructor, your trusty guide, an ignorance buster. This lesson